So thanks for coming today, guys. Today I'm announcing that I'm retiring at the end of the season. My journey in football has been a long one. I'm very grateful for the experiences that I've had, and there's a stack of people that I'd like to thank. I'd like to start off with thanking my junior club, the Alwara Tigers, for giving me the opportunity to fall in love with the game of rugby league. The mates I met playing junior footy are still my best mates today, and that's something I hold close to my heart. I'd like to thank the teams I played for, the Cronulla Sharks, the New Zealand Warriors, the North Queensland Cowboys and the Sydney Roosters for giving me the opportunity to fulfil my dreams of playing in the NRL. I'd like to thank my coaches and team staff, admin staff for their support throughout my journey. I've been lucky enough to work with some amazing people across my 15 years and built some incredible relationships. To the fans, thank you to everyone who has shown myself and my family love across my time on my journey. We've connected through our shared love of rugby league, which has been awesome. Thank you to my management, Chris and Gav at Pacific Sports. I really do appreciate all your guidance and support throughout my career. To my teammates, we shared some great times on the roller coaster of rugby league. The ups, the downs. I really appreciate you all for having my back throughout this journey. Some memories that'll sit with me for the rest of my life. And lastly, I'd like to thank my beautiful wife, Marissa, and my 4 kids, Myra, Cairo, Miami and Malibu. You guys have moved countries, moved states. Your unwavering support means the world to me. And I appreciate you for putting me first for a long time. And now it's time for me to put you first. So, if there's any questions, please go ahead. Thank you.
Chad, how hard is a decision like this to make?
To be honest, I think there was aspects of it where it was hard and not hard. I feel like when you know, and I feel like that my time is now. I've given this game everything I've had for the last 15 years, and I feel like I don't want to play anymore next season, and that's a really comforting thought for me that, like I said, I got told by an ex-teammate of mine that when you know, and I'm very grateful that I'm in that position that I know. I guess the hardest thing is just knowing that it's a really big chapter in your life closing. I started playing football as a 5-year-old. I'm nearly 35, it's a huge part of my life, and I think that's been the hardest thing of it.
There's still 5 or 6 games to go. You're still hoping to, fit another game in the NRL before the season's over?
Yeah, I mean, my job here at the Roosters has just been to do whatever the coach needed me to do, and I've tried to do that. So, whatever I'm needed to do, I'm happy to put my hand up and do the best thing for the team. Since day one, I feel like I've done that here at the Roosters. I've really enjoyed my time here, and I'm grateful for the opportunity. And I was grateful for the game that I got the other week against Cronulla at Shark Park, which ironically was the place where I played my first game in 2011. So if that was my last game, I'm very grateful for that opportunity that I got. But yeah, like I said, anything that the coach and this team needs me to do, I'm prepared to do.
What about next? What do you see yourself staying in rugby league? You're obviously a student of the game. Do you think you can possibly have a coaching career? Yeah,
for sure. My plans are definitely to stay involved in the game. I love the game, TV, radio, the media, my YouTube channel, podcast, vlogs. I feel like that's really pulling me in the direction of sports media. I love all sports, but obviously I love my rugby league the most. And I guess this year, playing a bit more of probably a mentoring role to some of our younger guys within our Roosters squad, I've really enjoyed. So I know, that's an area where I want to pursue, helping guys get ready for the NRL or, being prepared for what the NRL has to offer. It's the hardest competition in the world, and things don't always go your way. You need to be resilient. You're going to have setbacks. You're going to have failure, and that's professional sport. And I feel like I've got a lot to add in that. Not as a player, but I'll definitely be involved in the game for sure.
Any particular memories looking back on your career? Anything that kind of comes to mind?
Oh, there's so many. Yeah. 2016 with the Cronulla Sharks, obviously winning the grand final was definitely at the top of the list. I think my first game in the NRL, my debut, I grew up in the Shire. I was a Sharks fan. I had my Sharks flag on the hill. I got a photo of ET signing a shirt of mine in the sheds. So to be the only local junior to win that competition, that was a special moment for me. Like I said, my debut, I think, being named co-captain of the North Queensland Cowboys was a huge honour. Getting to 250 games was a great achievement for me. At this stage, I sit at 268, which I'm pretty proud of. Didn't get the 300. But yeah, there's been a lot of special times, but those were definitely up there.
Just another question. There's been a lot of reports that a deal with Daly Cherry Evans has been done. What would a player like him bring to the Roosters next year? Yeah,
obviously, Daly's resume speaks for itself. He's a very durable player, very experienced. So obviously this has been spoken out for such a long time, and I don't know if it's done or if it's not, but obviously I can only speak on the quality that Daly is as a person, as a player. He's someone who I've played against and admire for such a long time, and I think he'd be an asset at any team he goes to.
Is it a bit daunting? You've been a professional footballer for 15 years and, having to sort of walk away from that and, start again and all that sort of stuff. Is that a bit daunting or is it exciting?
It's a bit of both, if I'm honest. I think probably the unknown is the most daunting thing. What I'm going to do for a job, how do I earn money, things like that. But also it's exciting for me. I feel, like I said, I am ready for this. I am ready for the next phase of my life, and I've got some areas that I'm really passionate about and want to pursue, and I look forward to putting in the same amount of effort and energy that got me 15 years in the NRL. But yeah, I think it's a bit of both, and more just the realisation that, hey, like a really big chapter in my life is closing. So naturally, obviously, it's been quite emotional, for the past couple of months at home with my wife. We've had some pretty big conversations, but yeah, ultimately I sit here today with I am a little bit emotional, but also I'm very happy with my decision and moving forward.
How about the Roosters? It seems like quite a young squad, and they're I suppose heading in a new direction this season. Next year, are they going to be even better and possibly premiership chance? Do you think? Yeah,
look, there's some youngsters in our squad who you guys haven't seen yet, who are doing phenomenal things at a junior level. Obviously, we've seen the likes of Bobby Toyo, Salesi, among others, Blake Steep, Hugo Savala, who have come in and done a tremendous job. And with their continued growth in the game, obviously getting experience in the NRL, they're only going to be better for it year on year. So look, there's still 6 weeks to go in the competition, and we're hopeful as a club that we can push towards making it into the finals, and then obviously it's a whole new ball game. But I think, speaking of some of those younger guys, they're going to be a lot better for the experience this year, and they'll grow and grow. And the thing with the Roosters is that they compete for premierships year in, year out, so they'll be there or thereabouts, I'm sure.
Marty. Thank you.
Marty?
Yep, gotcha.
Firstly, mate, congratulations on everything you achieved throughout your career. Just wanted to touch on the mentorship that you mentioned earlier. Like, Robbo's praised you and everything you've done for Hugo and the other young playmakers there. Just wanted to know how rewarding that was and what you may have learned about yourself through that process and how that could help if you do go down that coaching path.
Yeah, that's been awesome for me. Look, it's one of the aspects of this year that I've actually really enjoyed. I've really tried to dial in as much as I can, with helping those younger guys. I feel like my experience in the game, I feel like I've gone through all the game has to offer, injury, form, setbacks, suspension, getting dropped, being sent off the field. I feel like I've had all of those exposed to me. So, just trying to help those guys navigate what life is like, in the NRL. Like I said before, it's a tough sport. Things don't always go your way. You need to be resilient and you need to bounce back. And as a halfback, quite often you get the praise when you win and you get criticised, when you lose. So it's how you kind of bounce back from from those adversities, that's really going to make you as a person and as a player.
I actually forgot about that K1 tackle when you brought it up. You talk about the adversity and the praise. Just, I know you mentioned earlier, but 2016, mate, you're going to go down as the one guy who's worn the number 7 jersey in a Cronulla Premiership winning team. You touched on it earlier, but can you just elaborate on how special that is? And I assume that is probably the career highlight?
Yeah, for sure. Definitely the career highlight for me. You know, it actually just takes me back to that moment of me standing on the hill, you know, with my flag. And, you know, to be a kid who was standing on the hill, you know, waving my flag and then being out there on the field, representing the team and winning the competition. Yeah, I mean, I'm getting a little bit emotional about it because it is a pretty big moment in my life. So that'll go down as, you know, the career highlight for me. That season was something special, and you know that's why we play. That's every sacrifice I ever made was for that moment at that time, and yeah, I'm just so grateful for that season, and you know for every experience I've had in the game.
Awesome, mate. Thank you again, and congratulations again for everything you've done.
Thanks, Marty. Appreciate it.